Hi guys, welcome back to the Humble Gamer channel. I am the Humble Gamer and this is some more Kentucky Route Zero. Now last time, you remember that we got to this point on the river. We've started our journey down the river. We've learning a lot of things about the characters, which I think this game is really strong on. We're starting to see things from different people's point of view, but I want to jump straight back into it. While those two gentle beasts kept things under control aboard the mucky mammoth, I went ashore with the rest of the crew to make use of a public telephone. I called into my answering machine, which I routinely neglect for intervals of months, to chip away at the pile. Kate checked on a client of hers. She's a birth doula, in addition to being a tugboat captain. Did you know that? Clara talked to her sister in Lithuania. Illness in the family, I gather. Anyway, the evening hit a low point not much later on, so let's take a quiet moment here to listen to the river and reflect on the unburdened sleep of dogs. Sounds like a good way to start the video. I don't really know where this game is going yet, because obviously this game is still technically unfinished because they haven't released the final chapter. There are 5 acts. So whenever I finish Act 4, there will be a small gap in the gameplay of this video unless they release it within the time I'm playing. In which case I'll get Act 5 up straight away. Oh, we're going to pull in here? Yes we are. What kind of place is this? Do I want cash or a card game? I think a card game. I'm not too fussed about cash. We haven't needed cash so far, so... Act 4, Scene 5. The Mucky Mammoth. It's a nice shot of the dogs, by the way, to enter this video. What's on? Clara draws a card. 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. Kate draws a card. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. What are we listening to? Oh, just this tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert. Vesinks? Something like that? Or Vesinks? Sounds good in the Mammoth's PA. Sounds good in the Mammoth's PA. Yeah, that's the only way I listen to anything lately. Your turn, buddy. Ezra draws a card. What game are we playing? 9 grey feathers, 7 blue petals, 3 white doves, 8 deep breaths, and 5 slow hours. Oh no, it was 7, 3, 8. Oh, you're beating at your own game. I was glad it didn't come to my turn again. You took a bullet there, my friend. I was going easy on you. I'm only how many cards in now? 5 or something? I'll assume it'll go to 52. It goes until everyone forgets a card. I've been going a long time then. Well, not with this crowd, I guess. We're all too soggy-brained. I know I am. I even made homemade supplements for it. A shade-grown lichen boiled with the peel of a lemon, then frozen and crushed with oak leaves. It's a scalp massage oil. You can smell it if I get close. Dries the brain out of it, which is helpful for a good memory, if I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. Oh, don't worry, the soggy brain has its benefits too. If your brain is soft and damp, new ideas can make a clear impression, like a boot in wet sand. But like wet sand, it can easily get muddied and washed away, so there's a trade-off, see? It's a shame we can't have it both ways, isn't it? What's this game called, Ezra? Forgetting game. I like these little sort of vignette scenes. It's quite nice. It sort of gives you the idea of the journey without actually necessarily having you have to experience the whole journey. Kay likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money, and that lab pays cash in small envelopes and upon completion of their little gauntlet of non-invasive tests. It's a project of the university. I think they're studying... I don't remember. The Mammoth also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper, though Kate once said they left half a vending machine on the dock. But nobody seemed interested in the lab stop that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. Let me tell you about it. Well, I work at a castle. It's gotta be. It takes place in a castle. It's some historic landmark being maintained by a bunch of colleague caves and aging social misfits. The main characters work in the gift shop. They're co-workers, Mimi and Jen. Mimi is older than Jen, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work, they have a playful antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually only read a bit from the middle. The two had cause to reflect on the history of their work together. Something got messed up, a document misplaced or filed with the wrong heading. I wasn't really paying close attention to that part. But the event prompted a long conversation about the procedural history of their work together, and that illustrated the history of their friendship in broad, suggestive strokes. In my life's work as the Echo River's premier anecdotalist, I've always found that a carefully exerted moment is more powerful than any epic history. That's my excuse anyway, for reading books from the inside out. So I stopped there. My eyes were getting heavy. We were heading back to the lake when a chance encounter with the Iron Pariah. The Iron Pariah? What on earth is the Iron Pariah? I'm assuming we'll find out at some point. I'm assuming this is the lake we're coming into. It looks like a nice big hall. No, we're still on the river. It's looking more lake-like now. There we go. So what is this Iron Pariah? I'm going to have to explore this one. I can't stay on the boat forever. Ooh, some trees on an island. Let's see where these trees take us. What are the choices? I took a nap. Or Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms. Let's go foraging for mushrooms. Act 4, Scene 6. A grove. Where are we? Ah, I like the way the lights go. This definitely is like a stage production. They've redone that part of the job well. She lit a cigarette with the embers of the first one. She trembled, sweating a little under a heavy coat. It was warmer near the doors, but she was following directions. No smoking within 25 feet of the hospital entrance. Kate gently rolls a fallen branch and plucks something white from the other side. She holds it up for Ezra to examine. Plurosibella porogens. The common name is angel wings. Isn't that pleasant? They have a delicate springy texture and they're tasty like sweet moss. So she stood by a hot dog cart parked at the edge of the sidewalk. Would you like a bite? Okay. What do you think? Is it supposed to be spicy? No. Go ahead and spit that out. It's okay. My mushroom hunting mentor told me it's useless to pretend to know mushrooms. They escape your erudition. The more you know them, the less sure you feel about identifying them. Taps the girl with a small red bush she's carrying. That's why I always bring my favourite guidebook. Kate points to a small mushroom glowing in the dirt. Oh, here's an important one to recognise though. Look, see that sort of greenish pallor on the cap? Amanita phalloides. That's Greek. Amanita means mushroom and phalloides means, yeah, never mind. It smells like honey. Yeah, sort of nauseating though, right? Sickly sweet. Death cap, that's the common name. It's killed a lot of people, this little mushroom, including a few Roman emperors. It's a revolutionary. Even the Buddha died from eating a mushroom when he was very old. That's just what they do, clear away old things, make room for new things. Pretty important, right? I've always thought they deserved a little more respect. Would you like to help me look for a few more? I have a sort of shopping list. Great, look for... just grab any mushrooms that catch your eye and throw them in the bag. Let me know when you're done and we'll see what you got. Have fun. That's the second rule of mushroom hunting. First rule is ask Kate before eating anything, okay? Oh, what am I going to do with these two? I'm going to say Kate examines some tree roots. I'm going to say Ezra checks out a plastic bag that's washed him on the arm. No, would he be? No, he's not interested in plastic bags. He's going to poke around the base of a cypress tree. She spots a couple of intriguing growths along the root of the tree. A speckled white ball, a cluster of softly glowing amber caps. The hot dog made her try to strike up a conversation with some immediately too personal questions. She decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he considered it part of his job, she thought, to offer his customers some kind of counsel. Maybe it was to salve his guilty conscience for selling junk food outside a hospital. Examine the speckled white balls. A brownish clump of mushrooms, I'm moving to Ezra now, a brownish clump of mushrooms feathers out from the base of the cypress tree. A few feet above, several pale blue puffs cling to the trunk. He didn't like to play in the house, it was always too cold. It seemed to store up the cold at night. And so he discharged it into his bones during the day while the sun bounced feebly off the windows. But he liked to play in the woods behind the house. The woods were full of deer. His dad said the deer liked best to live on the edges of forests. Recent development in the area had created a lot of fresh edges, so they'd massed here and sometimes ran to the road. She'll check out the mushroom. Oh, she's going to kneel in the grass. Ezra examines the blue puffs. He prods one of the pale orbs with a stick and it cracks open a little, releasing a fine dust into the air. He felt like the world outside his woods. The woods had somehow slipped away while he was gone. And now he was there. Now there was nothing but the woods. He kept going. Removes a puffball. Kate's kneeling in the grass. She parts the grass with her garden knife, studiously combing the ground. Had you ever tried any alternative medicines? Acupuncture, homeopathy, Ayurveda, magical thinking? She said she'd never heard of any of those things. He fished a stray hot dog out of the pickle jar. There are no mushrooms in the grass. Kate tries to wipe some mud off her boot. Oh, you got one. Let's see it. He tripped on a protruding root and lay for a while in the mud, examining the pale upper branches of a sycamore tree, listening to the soft rumble of faraway thunderstorm. Then louder, closer, and his hair stood on end. And there was the bird. Ezra hands Kate the blue puffball he took from the cypress tree. A blue puffball? Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this exact species before. This one's way too old to be in use anyway. Puffballs get all dried until they're so delicate it only takes one of the slightest agitation. Kate gently shakes the puffball, it bursts into a cloud of spores. And the wind does the rest. See, its weakness as a survival strategy. Kind of radical, transformative weakness. I just found this one. Kate takes the speckled white ball out of her bag. These are called bat eggs. See this gooey stuff leaking out of the side here? I guess someone once thought this stuff like egg yolk and it's black like a bat. I mean, I'm kind of speculating. I don't really know why they're called bat eggs. They're not good for anything, really, and they'll give you a bad stomachache if you try to eat them. Just wanted to show it to you. She tossed the bat egg into the water. So, you have a brother out there somewhere? Julian, he's going to come find me in the morning after the work is done. Yep, we work pretty hard. We used to spend part of each night looking for my folks, but I pretty much just work. But maybe that'll change. I have some new friends. Do you have a family? She wouldn't tell a boy that, I don't think. Almost had a baby once. That could be a dodgy subject to tell a small child. I left home when I was very young. I was older than you, actually. We'll go with the more child-friendly one, I think. I bounced around jobs and shelters and find my way down to the Echo River. Never looked back. It's basically my own little being on my own since then. Well, that's not really true. Just about everyone who sets foot aboard the Mucky Mammoth feels like they're family to me now. I guess if nobody's family, then everybody's family. These are the only trees in this whole cave. Who planted them here? Right. Not many trees down here in the dark. I know these are some kind of cypress. They were definitely planted here deliberately by someone who... I guess I don't really know much about this place, really. It's supposed to be some kind of memorial to something. Will would know more. Sorry, it's a mystery. Ezra kicks the dirt. Months later, she came across the book on homeopathic medicine in a bookstore and bought it. It's a mystery. I'll search for clues. She puts out a cigarette, said goodbye to the hot dog vendor and spent the rest of the afternoon listening to the doctors and trying to understand the world as they did. List of discrete injuries to be mended. A large stone monument. Monument is covered with written and painted text. Ezra reads the text. Grot graffiti, X plus O forever. Investigates a cypress tree. Tree smells spicy, oily. Inspects the bark. A message is carved into the bark. Aussie. Ezra inspects the contents of his pockets. Alright, what have you got? And stone-faced monument has X plus O forever painted on it. Interesting. What do you think that means? Hug and kiss forever? Well, there could be initials. Xavier and Olivia forever? Xerxes and Oliver? I think that monument is for. I'm not sure anyone remembers. Somebody carved Ozzy into that tree over there. Oh, what do you think that means? It's part of somebody's name, or it's short for something. Observe Zero Yaks? Old Zebra Yard? Ornery Zoologist Yacht? I don't know what that means. Yeah, it was a stretch. Well, Ezra, I can't say I know what all that adds up to. Like I said, I wish Will were here. He'd have some local history for us. We can ask him back on the boat. Kate knows to look at the old battleship drifting, but an old battleship full of cats. Ah, there it is, the Iron Pariah. Don't worry, it's just passing by. What do you think of it? So to the other side. Ezra's parents shook him awake. They seemed alarmed, but not immediately concerned. They led him back into the house, past the house, into the car. Dad said they were going to stay at the bus station for a while, the one with the little arcade or the card game he liked. Dad watched him closely in the rearview mirror, expecting Ezra to be excited or confused or scared, but he didn't feel anything. He hardly seemed to hear. In fact, he felt like he was observing the family car from distance from above, from the clouds. Think of that one. Is it full of ghosts? Oh, I don't know, probably. I mean, no, definitely not. You don't believe in ghosts, do you? No. Not many young kids who really believe in ghosts. Lots of older people do, though. I wonder why that is. Supposedly there's no one even aboard. No people, I mean. I mean, there must be something on there. Life is everywhere. Rats, insects, some kind of hardy mould. Part of it could be flooded and host to some of the eyeless fish that live in the echo. Hey, maybe there's some mushrooms going in there, slowly consuming military rations from over 100 years ago. I heard it was in the Civil War. I guess they had boats full of soldiers and supplies going up and down the Ohio River, and they fought on the river like boat to boat with cannons or something, I guess. Machine guns? I'm no military historian, as you can probably tell. Anyway, I guess this one just got lost and somehow ended up all the way down here. Maybe it slipped into a cave up north. They're all connected underground. There's another version of the story where it didn't get lost. It was full of deserters. Came down here to hide. Maybe that's why it's called a pariah. More mysteries. They do pile up over time as people forget the details. Thanks for taking me mushroom picking. Mushroom hunting. You can pick apples because they're right out there in the open. Mushrooms hide. You have to hunt for them. That ship was full of cats. That ship was definitely full of cats. But anyway, let's get back onto the boat. It's time to go. So presumably Act 4, Scene 6... Oh no, just on the river now. What an intriguing little scene. What an intriguing game this is! See that rough surf like rocky protrusions near the shore? It's more intricate than it looks. More than 2/3 of it is actually underwater. I haven't seen it myself, but listen to this. It's man-made, and the rocks weren't placed according to their size, so what's visible is more or less uniformly random selection of the overall shape. Looks like it might be a spiral, all told, or maybe some kind of meditative labyrinth. Ahead of it is a petrified oak stump. That was moved here from above ground, obviously decades ago. That's where the ceremony took place. The Lock-Lucks were married here. Many frail-tongued observers said they should just go with lock or luck, or split the difference in with look or even lick, or really something else. It was never going to happen. Greta Luck and Norm Locke were high school sweethearts. They took a chemistry class together where she challenged him to shoot the moon, learning formulae and compounds well enough to answer every test question exactly wrong and achieve a perfect failing grade. Their engagement was welcome news for the family business, who'd been looking for some opportunity to merge the interests. But my business is. Animal Storage and Nut Company. That sound. Printing press and feeder bicycle. I suppose both of them work. I'm going to go with Animal Storage though. Surely someone in the branch of those two great trees had elephant husbandry on the brain. This is all speculation. The ceremony itself was humble and perfunctory, and it must have somehow involved these rocks. Oh, I like the symbol of ever-tightening bond, although boundaries between the family now. Ever-tightening bond. It's like me and my girlfriend, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. Sorry, that was really soppy. But you know what? No, there's nothing wrong with being soppy. Hello, Charlie. Love you, baby. And it must have also involved that petrified stump. Neither family is particularly religious, but rumours persist that the officiant wore a robe. Mushroom shoe in the kitchen. Set out the dinghy to deliver a package to the telephone exchange. We're going to do enough delivering. I want to do some more mushroom stew in the kitchen. Well, I was saying more mushroom stew. I want to do some mushroom stew in the kitchen. Act 4, Scene 8. The Mucky Mammoth. It's exciting, isn't it, Bullwinkle? I think that was Bullwinkle that made that sound. If not, I'm just being an idiot and talking to my guinea pig when he did nothing. I had a few of these really big cats with the slimy gills. I shouldn't say slimy, moist. The lady in the video called for portobello, but I preferred never to know a mushroom by name. So this... No, he quite likes the mushrooms. So this is a breakfast stew. It will be, but not today. This stew is for tomorrow. It has to simmer all day. Some things are just better done slowly. We've added the anonymous mushrooms, so next we, I got the recipe video on pause next door. Used to follow a recipe I learned from Ida herself. The best cook you're going to meet on this river, of course. Of course, it had a few secret ingredients. She had the good sense to preserve some mystery around her cooking. Better for business. Ida is so shrewd. She swore me not only to secrecy but to ignorance. I had to promise to forget the recipe just as soon as I'd cooked it. Let me tell you, it's not so easy to forget something on purpose as you may think, my friend. Not so easy. Let's have a look at the recipe. Let's talk to Shannon, shall we, Ezra? Crushed tomatoes, salsa, or even a little ketchup. Here's the thing, nobody has to know. Throw in some more of that spice blend we threw together earlier, stir all that up and crack a beer, baby. You'll be here for a while. What did you just say to do? Well, let's try to make the stew right now. What was the last step he did? He put a couple of mushrooms in, then I think he forgot what he was doing for a little while. Maybe I can have him figure it out. I got kind of sucked into this program. Talk to Will. And even that wasn't enough to convince her. So I trained rigorously in the art of forgetting, studying for months under a master amnesiac. Finally, I learned to forget so quickly and accurately that I was able to convince her to show me the most obscure secrets of her kitchen. As a demonstration of my trustworthiness, I forgot the names of my own parents right there in front of her. Every time I wanted to cook this legendary stew, I'd call out on the phone and ask her for a quick, temporary reminder. Here on the boat, we haven't got a phone line, so I have to take out culinary wisdom on videotapes of cooking shows. So, back to the matter at hand. Next, we... Add some crushed tomatoes. Oh, it's you. I thought... Never mind. Hello. I don't have any crushed tomatoes. I have some ketchup. Hey there, can I ask you... Wait, why are you cooking? We're stopping at Sam and Ida's in 20 minutes. It's for tomorrow! Oh, well, just don't forget about it this time. Not scrumming out any more boiled over sludge. Sorry, listen, I have a favour to ask. There's a package of the telephone exchange and I can't get the mammoth back there. Could you deliver it for us? The guy I mentioned from the TV station, Dashiell Morse, works there now. Thought you might like to chat with him anyway. Thanks a lot, I've got the dinghy all ready to go. Maybe take your friend with you. One of you can man the outboard mode and the other can aim with the flashlight. It's dark. So we're going to do that anyway, so that wasn't really a choice sort of thing. Act 4, Scene 8. Echo River Central Exchange. Not the ERCE, the ERCA. Okay. Thanks again for your help. This is about as far as the tugboat can go. You know, noise and lice disturb the bats. So you'll pass through the bat sanctuary, which is really nice, by the way. Be sure to check out all the plaques and stuff for cool bat facts. Plenty of time. Anyway, the Echo River Central Exchange, or excuse me, Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. They changed the name when the power company took over. Anyway, it's just on the other side of the back sanctuary. The package is going to Poppy. She's an operator. The operator. We'll meet you on the other side at Sam and Ida's for our scheduled early breakfast stop. Just follow the river. Can't miss it. Oh, I almost forgot. You may or may not be interested. There's this kind of weird memorial sculpture on your way in, just before the back sanctuary. I always recommend people at least stop and take a look at it. It's really sort of... I don't know how to say it. You should check it out. Okay, bye. Okay, we're on the river now. Doing whatever it is we can. Let's have a look at this. What is it? We claim these helmets in the names of the folk who wore them, and we place them here in their memory, but also as a spit in the greedy green eye of that power company who bought our old mine and traded our brothers and sisters' safety for a little more yield, but only yielded 28 good men and women dead with the walls collapsed and the tunnels filled with water. Their lungs were black, but now they're washed clean and full of water too, and swept through hidden tunnels into some awful cave we never will find. So we guess the water buried them for us, so let this here be the marker for their grave. And if any son of a bitch from that power company wants to take back these helmets as company property, just you try and see what will happen. Hey, Elkhorn, that's the mine we met in, where your folks worked. Looks like it's been... Oh, I've got the wrong voice here. Looks like it's been here for a while. Sure as hell wouldn't mess with it. Think whoever ordered is still that angry? I don't think you ever forget anger like that. No, I guess you probably don't. This probably stirs up... I mean, how do you... It's fine. I'm glad this is here. People should remember this happened. Well, here we are, remembering. I didn't even know it the first time around, but here I am remembering it now. It's a fine memorial, I guess. Let's get moving. I keep forgetting that Shannon's parents, we think Shannon's parents died in the mine. I think that's what happened. Oh, beautiful work. Oh, two of those guys. What's going to happen here then? Just waving at us. No, we actually are going to interact. What? You're looking at me like I'm crazy, huh? Just sometimes I forget I don't even really know you that well. Yeah, well, that makes two of us. You know, those guys from the distillery are just making the best of a bad situation, just like the rest of us. Hey, one of them said to me earlier they could even help take care of these medical wounds for my leg, you know? Get it all together on a plan, consolidated. Hey, if we can find her, maybe Weaver could get you out of this thing with the distillery. She has some experience with them. Oh, sure, could be. Anyway, I have a feeling it'll all work out. Even for me? Hey, why not? Seems like we're getting pretty close to finding your cousin, right? Besides that, you're young and smart and plenty of time to bounce back from whatever. Listen, that old truck I've been driving belonged to my boss, Ira, Lizette's husband. To be honest, Ira didn't like me very much, but somehow Liz got into her mind that he would have wanted me to have that truck someday. Maybe to make up for the yelling he did, or maybe so his ghost could hold it over me, just one more thing to feel like I owed him for. Anyway, they got their own trucks at the distillery, and now that antique shop is closing up, I've got no use for that old truck. I was thinking you could take it. Sure, I could keep an eye on it for you until you get things straightened out. Sure, okay. Sounds good. Is this the Bat Sanctuary? This decorative of a slow, stripped, bad artificial hibernaculum and sanctuary has to take extra precautions in order to prevent the introduction of foreign fungal contaminants and the spread of white nose syndrome. Please do not visit the sanctuary in the same day in which you visited any cave known or suspected to host bats infested with white nose syndrome. Not a problem. Please do not leave your vehicle. If you must leave your vehicle, please remove shoes, clothing, jewellery, headwear and eyeglasses to ensure you do not bring any foreign spores ashore with you. Please not turn any bats or structures. The slow striped bat is confused by light. If you are using a lantern or other artificial light source, be aware that it may attract and confuse bats. If you're attracted by bats, do not panic. Relax, stop your vehicle and switch off your light. Never touch a bat. So we're just going to have to turn it off at some point. Presumably we can see the bats in the dark, can we? If their eyes are open, I mean. The bats are flying. I've had a bat fly at me once. It's quite an unnerving experience. It wasn't aggressive or anything, but it just was in the dark and it just went straight at me. Oh damn it, I missed that thing. Damn, I wanted bat related facts. I wanted bat facts. Bat facts. Am I forgetting something? Genuinely, check down in the write down in the comments below. Why are they following us? When did his arm get damaged? Have I missed something? Bat fact: the slow striped bat's natural diet. Also, I'll do my best, David. The slow striped bat's natural diet mostly consists of moths and other small insects that breed along the river. Here at the artificial hibernaculum and sanctuary, we use a combination of chemical snares and ultrasonic wards to repel all potentially contaminant-bearing insects and replace them with our own locally bred and spawned hyperallergenic antiseptic pseudomoths, which we call the little grey nothing moth. But we think that the other moths and insects the slow striped bat would have been eating are very much relieved that their natural predator has found another food source. Not so. We've installed netting and highly effective moth traps along the river where the slow striped bat normally hunts to balance their escape from the food chain. Breeding moths is the only systemic contribution these bats make. They also produce a potent fertilizer in the form of guano that helps plant life thrive along the Echo River shore. Along the Echo River, the shore of Lake Lethe. In order to minimise the sanctuary's impact on subterranean agriculture, we collect the precious guano here at the hibernaculum and manage to distribute it throughout the caves. It's a full-time job. Sounds like a lot of work. It's all fake except for the bats. Yeah, I guess so. Reminds me of that guy Donald and his crew down there with the computer. It is reassuring to know someone's taking care of these little bats. Yeah, who's going to build the people hibernaculum? Maybe we'll build it ourselves. Maybe we already did. Like the folks at the mine, you said they used to buy stuff, fans, canaries, all those little trinkets to make it bearable. There's still a lot of stuff down there. It feels cluttered, but human. I just mean all people need is enough to pretend we're home. We can make it anywhere. Yeah, you get kind of philosophical when you drink. Anyone ever tell you that? Yeah, I guess I do. Nah, this is nothing. Used to have this drinking buddy who would get loaded and tell me the weirdest damn riddles, like, which is more musical, a truck passing by a factory or a truck passing by a music school? Huh. Count your blessings. Damn, it's really dark down here. You still there? Shannon touches Conway's shoulder. Oh, there you are. I hope that's you. I was thinking about Lizette. I actually think she'd like it down here. She's always liked old things and empty places. I mean, places that are full of weird stuff, but they still feel empty, like the Wax Museum. Oh, stripy trees now, not just stripy bats. This is getting really quite dense. There's a boat. There's umbrellas. What are umbrellas doing down here? And why are the trees stripy? Oh, it's just an artistic choice. Why are those skeletons following us? Trying to make sure I pay my debt? The bat sign. I'll get my Attenborough impression out again. Nah, impression. Attenborough. Again. White noise syndrome is still largely a mystery. We suspect that the white fungal growth which appears on bats' faces and wings irritates. White noise? White nose. Read humble. Faces and wings irritates and confuses them, causing them to awaken early from hibernation and venture outside, depleting storage energy they need to survive through winter. But biologists are nowhere near curing the disease. It spreads quickly and is highly fatal. In this way, white nose syndrome has drawn some comparisons to colony collapse disorder as suffered by bees. White nose syndrome and colony collapse disorder are sudden, violent and mysterious. Will honeybees and the slow striped bat be two more lost species, wiped out in a geological blink and forgotten to natural history? It's possible the cure won't be identified in time, so the sanctity of this artificial herbiнаculum is our best hope of preserving them. As you leave Echo River's slow striped bat herbiнаculum and sanctuary, please make sure your vehicle and clothing are free of hitchhikers. Why are they following me? What? That's getting creepy now. That is really getting quite creepy. I don't like the fact they're following me. That worries me greatly. Stop following me! Stop it, leave me alone! Leave Conway alone! There's a very old internet reference. That ages me. I was a teenager when I first saw that. Good God, is that over 10 years old? Damn it! Ah. What is this? Was ist das? Pardon me. I've insulted every other nation on this channel. I might as well get to the Germans. And the Austrians, technically. Oh. Oh, we're here. Just the odd bat flying around here. Who are we looking for again? What's her name? Talk to Conway. Careful up there. Can't drive in your truck if you slip and break your legs. You too. Try not to make any more bad deals while I'm gone. Just floating along down here. Just mean keep your eyes open and don't look back. Oh, hi, I remember you. What are you doing down here? I'm just exploring. I like dark underground places. I'm a romantic. So am I think. Yeah, you'd have to be to hang out down here. Okay, bye. Okay then, let's see if we can... Ah, Dashiell. This is the guy we're supposed to look for. Oh, I like the design in here. Could be bypassed with another capacitor at 100 nanofarads to reduce noise. If your circuit's too noisy, you should tie those floating pins to the ground. Huh? That's a pretty good idea. They're probably picking up all kinds of radio interference. Dashiell Morse, pleased to meet you. We don't install this type of phone for customers anymore, but there's quite a few of them still in circulation. Anyway, the new system doesn't source enough current to ring these old bells, so I'm trying to come up with a workaround. Maybe a little box the customer could attach right before the wall jack. So you do still work here on the truck, but they weren't totally sure. Oh, well, yeah, you know, he's an older man. Ah, well, yeah, I'm here just about every night. Is this your first time down here? Yeah, I can tell your eyes can't quite adjust to the light. Takes some practice. Believe it or not, I've been coming in since I was a kid, for one reason or the next. Back then, this place was a train station. It's true, they had bats then too, but they were considered a nuisance. Train station? What happened? Well, the river shifted and this place slowly filled with water, carrying the trains away with it. It does that, the river. I don't begrudge it. It's a good reminder that everything we have is borrowed, even trains. How dare you! How dare you! Sorry, train rage, sorry. Eventually someone at the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces heard this place was still empty, so they moved the phone company in here. I returned here as a young lineman, a skill I picked up in wartime, running telephone wires behind enemy lines. We used trees instead of poles. I missed that actually, they were easy to climb. It's just as well, I'm in no shape to be climbing anything these days. The closest I get is patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the WVPP folks. Do you ever know a girl named Weaver? Sure, Weaver Marquez. That's funny, I was just thinking about her. Yeah, I met her a couple of times at the TV station. Suppose I didn't know her too well. She handled the archives and I was helping with wiring and stuff. She really seemed to know all that, her way around all that gear though. She had a head for signals, I think. No idea where she ended up. I guess she's probably not too popular around the station anymore, but I always liked her. Listen, miss, if you're interested in WEVP, you should go talk to them directly. They're always looking for volunteers. Take the ferry over to the silo. There's a mail stop there. They don't have a sign or anything, just ask around. I guess I'll get back to this damn old ringer. Probably just a little further down if you're dropping off that package. Nice chatting with you. Oh, there's a plaque. Abel and Eloise, the lovers' couriers. Bred for racing, Abel and Eloise spent most of their lives as carrier pigeons in the employ of the Echo River Avian Post. They retired here after Abel was disfigured in an accident with a light aircraft, but old habits were hard to die. Abel and Eloise would pick up scraps of ground from the trash and even pull them out of pockets and deliver them to other people nearby, to delight or embarrassment. Word spread and travellers passing through this tunnel began to come prepared with love letters, poems and other written desires to pass along indirectly through these pigeons. After a hard day's work, Abel and Eloise would always be found nestled close together in a disused newspaper stand set aside for their habitation. And that's where we left them. Aww, that's a really nice little story actually. That's very cute. Aww. Well, that touched me, that did. That was nice. I like that. Do I need the flashlight here? Yes, I do. Let's talk to Poppy to deliver the package. Just set it right over there by the lamp, sweetie. Thanks. Actually, just a minute. Who does that parcel claim to be from? That's weird. There's no label on it. Well, if we're lucky, it's chocolates from a secret admirer, and if not, a snake from an assassin. So who are you? Do you work for the post office or the tugboat? Oh, that's because I haven't seen you before. Was that I heard you chatting down the hall? I'm just doing Kate a favour, dropping off this package. Kate! I love Kate. She helped deliver both my nieces. One in the hospital, one at the base of a mossy, moonlit oak. It's beautiful. I love Kate. I think Loretta's granddaughter used her too. Ah, Loretta used to work here. Yeah, actually, I think quite a few of our former operators have relied on at some time on Kate's services. Well, no, I guess I'll have more time with our little ones. As you can see, all the chairs are empty. It wasn't always like this. When I came to work at the Echo River Central Exchange, there was 12 of us. Loretta, Edna, Meg, Clara, Cara, Marie, Louis, Liz, Hester, Angie, Wilma, Connie. I was number 12. Connie and I were hired on the same day, but she showed up early. Marie finished college and Hester was fired for snapping at a rude caller, but he had it coming. I hear she did just fine on her own. So they hired Beryl, Jana and Sachiko, which brought us up to 13, and that was as many operators as we ever had here at one time. Power company came along, buying up all the lines, and one day they took the exchange as a throw-in, like it was nothing. Nothing! They started phasing us out. Edna, Meg, Cara and Lois left one Friday evening. They were asked not to come back on Monday morning. Beryl saw the writing on the wall and quickly found employment at a private PBX. They had Jana and Liz stop routing calls and write up some kind of best practices document instead, as their final task as exchange employees. Some of the girls were reassigned to other divisions. Connie, I think, was checking residential meters. Sachiko and Wilma were moved into energy sales, cold calling businesses to see if they need to upgrade their electricity plan. Well, at least they were still on the phone. And it was just Loretta, Angie and me. We were swamped. The hours were hell and hard on the throat. The voice with a smile became a croak. I was gargling warm salt water in the break room, sipping from a thurnos full of hot honey broth stashed into my chair. Oh, I brought a lot of extended technique to the switchboard in those days. Ah! A phone call. Sounded pretty good to me. He's got the voltage too high, I'll burn out the relay. So, where was I? Extended switchboard technique. It was all about timing your breath. Some girls got lightheaded during too many calls in a row with that upbeat dynamic inflection that made us all used to keep everything intelligible. It was very physical. So after a few months it was just me, a new automation strategy was announced, and this place was rechristened Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. You lonely? Sure, this place feels different when it's empty. Cold to the touch. And you know, it really is all about touch here. Sound is a vibration, a touch you can feel in your ear, so my voice is touch. While we're talking, we're touching, even on the phone. That's an electronic touch, an intimate little shock that makes your tiny hairs tremble. That's not even what I mean when I say it's all about touch here. When the power company first tried automating this old exchange with fancy new transistor arrays, the switchboard caught fire. It was just too much, too fast. So we tried using some clunky old mechanical relays, but then the calls were getting mismatched and out of sync. It was a nightmare. The technician determined that the phone system down here had been designed ad hoc over decades around the specific tempo of its human operators. So, short of replacing the whole thing, not to mention all the wiring, they'd have to work out an exact timing every little human gesture that goes into routing a phone call. And that, officially, is my role here. I run the switchboard for the whole exchange. Once the work at 12, I'd like to remind you. They have some kind of machine somewhere that tracks how long it takes me to do each little thing. The caller never hears my voice now. They dial, my little indicator light switch on, and I make the connection. Do you miss talking to the callers? You know, there's something that bothers me about the process, besides the fact that I'm training my replacement, who isn't even human. Here's what I mean. How long do you think it should take to time my every move and recreate that timing in an automated switchboard? Rough estimate. Well, at least a month. That's what I said. But this has been going on for over a year, and a very dark thought has started to nag at me. What if there is no cheap machine that's going to replace me? What if it's cheaper just to keep me here, filling in for the rhythm of the operators? What if I'm the cheap machine? You're not a machine. Nice of you to notice. I'm on the Echo River Central Exchange, and I'll carry a torch for the voice with a smile. But at least I'm keeping some part of it human, right? Even if it's not the best part. Oh, the parcel. Right over there by the lamp. It's fine. Thanks for dropping that off. Take care. Think of me when you dial 0. What? What the hell? Conway? Conway? What's happened to Conway? Where's he gone? Conway! Oh shit, we are in trouble now if Conway's gone. And I think on that little cliffhanger... No, we'll carry on. She returned to digging alone. She had a strong and sudden urge to shut the motor off and let the current take her. But she couldn't work out where that impulse came from, so she did her best to try to resist it. Ooh, family of 5, guitar player, floating salesman, painter of shipwrecks. Family of 5 on a flat-bottomed skiff. The boat was loaded to capacity with black plastic bags and a few larger pieces of furniture wrapped up in blue tarp. 3 paddled, the 2 adults and the older child. The 2 younger children slept. They'd been travelling all night, first by car and then the last few hours by boat. Hungry and tired, they didn't plan to stop until they reached West Virginia, where a relative had often take them in. The adults were happy to take a break from paddling in weary silence. They asked her about her river journey. She said she was on the way to Salmonidas. She told them about them. She said she was on the way to Salmonidas. They brought some food. The kids had picked the garden clean earlier in the day, so they'd been snacking on fresh bell peppers and tomatoes, and some crackers rationed carefully for the trip. They wished her well and paddled on towards West Virginia. Guitar player. He said they took it turns. The water was cold and the floating bicycle... Well, technically Marvelous wasn't quite buoyant enough for both of them. Swimming is hard work. The hardest work the dog had ever done, he expected. They've been travelling this way for most of the night, struggling through the icy water, stopping to recover when they could find a rock large enough to start a small campfire. He's had his belongings stuffed into a weathered guitar case at the end of the thin rope. It floated pretty well, so he had to keep an eye on it and occasionally free it from a rock or some driftwood it was caught on. She invited him to ride away on the dinghy. He appreciated the offer, but they weren't in a hurry. Painter of shipwrecks. never worked from photographs, so his painting could be divided into two categories. There were the ones he painted from life, and the Echo River was a very good source of these because its currents were so unpredictable and the tunnels were so dark. He rendered these by oil paint, by lamplight, working for hours, cross-legged on the porch of his houseboat/studio. Then there were the ones he painted from memory, most of the memory of a single wreck encountered as a much younger man, picking up litter from where the coastal highway cleaves to the rocky beaches of the northern California. These were done in watercolour. He preferred to work on there in the morning, in the room he rented near the airport at Louisville. He had some postcard-style sketches in charcoal too of the Iron Pariah. It wasn't a wreck exactly, but it felt right. He tried to scribble one down every time he encountered it, though it was so unpredictable, he was so focused on details, he usually ended up with a handful of inscrutable marks. She gave in, shut off the motor and floated for a while. Then she knew what she'd been craving, a moment of silence. Our little party's getting sort of split here. Not sure I like where it's going. And we're going to call this one here, because it's been quite a long video. So, we're going to come to Salmonidas in the next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, please do like and subscribe. Check out the game in the description below. As I said at the end of the last episode, there are lots of little branching paths, I think, to this. So, we're gonna, if you do play it yourself, you can definitely play it a different way than I've played it, and maybe some different things will happen. And if you do play it yourself, or if you have played it yourself, you know, let me know up to this point what different choices you made and how what happened to you by the time you got to Salmonidas, if you make it Salmonidas at all, I don't know. But thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you're seeing. I was me, that was Kentucky Route Zero. See you very soon for the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Goodbye.